Since we found out, since we found out, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could
Hello everyone! So today is another episode of my 30 Days to College series, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series because it's a lot of fun for me to film, and it also gets me very excited for college. And I know some of you might be missing more of my beauty videos because it has been a while. Other than hauls and that kind of stuff, I haven't done much beauty related stuff. But I will be posting some new beauty things coming up very, very soon. It's just that it is really hectic right now with all the college preparing things. So, well, let's stop blabbering and just get right into this video. Today's video is about meeting your roommate, not like necessarily meeting her, but like when you receive your roommate assignments, you will eventually have to talk to your roommate because it's better than getting there on the first day and not even know your roommate. So some of the first topics, like when I went to email my roommate, which I found out a few days ago, I was a bit awkward about it, and I was like, I don't know what to say. I never met this person before. I know nothing about her other than her name and her university email. I didn't even have her on Facebook or anything. And I was like, what am I gonna say to this girl? So I was just like, oh well, I'm just gonna email her, ask her what her major is, and play along with the awkward. So I was kind of like, so I don't really know what to say in this email. It's kind of awkward, but I know, since we're gonna be living together for the next year, I thought I should send one to get it started. And anyway, what's your major, where are you from, and all that sorts of stuff. And she mailed me back and gave me her Facebook, and then we started talking through Facebook. So one of the things that I think you want to cover early on is what's her major and what are her interests, because from there you can kind of go with it. So I had a roommate that was in the art part of life. And even though I'm doing business, I'm doing it with a focus more on art business. So it's gonna be, we already bonded over some little facts. You can always let's say you start talking to a roommate and she's like, oh, I'm gonna be a bio major, but I love running track. And you're like, oh, I always ran track in high school. And then you guys have something in common, Or, oh, I was thinking about running track. Maybe you could do it together. Or maybe if you know about a big party or a big meetup that's going to happen, plan going with your roommate. And also bonding over decorating your room is the best thing ever. So just say oh, I'm so excited to decorate our little home for the next year, and then she will probably be really excited, she or he, whatever, if you're a guy or a girl watching this video. And then you guys can bond and exchange ideas, and just, it's really fun. It's supposed to be a fun thing to meet your roommate. And I'm not saying you guys are gonna get along 100% well, but they're you will respect each other at least, hopefully. But out of your first conversation, maybe say how excited you are, say what your major is, say and ask, ask and tell them. Ask about their family, don't ask about their family situation, okay? If you ask oh, do you have any siblings? Or don't ask who do you live with, because that might involve other issues that you don't really want to get into until you know the person. So just ask oh, do you have any siblings? And then maybe you guys have a sibling that's the same age. Then you can all bond and you can be oh, isn't it annoying when they do this and this and that, Which is really bad. You shouldn't be talking bad about your siblings. But you guys get what I mean. Other than that, you can also ask them what they're doing over the summer or where they have traveled to, or what they plan on doing. So just like little things like that that are fun. Maybe ask them why they chose the university so you get a feel for who they are, because sometimes people choose a university for different reasons. So like if they say, oh, I chose this university because it's a big university, then you already know they're probably really into big cities and meeting a lot of people. Or if they chose a university because it's a small university in a small community, and maybe they'll add, I'm a little bit shy. So you already know like what's gonna go on. Something else I want to say is if you don't, like if your roommate is kind of internet web, you know, awkward, like texting awkward, try to call him. Like I can't call my roommate because it would be an international call, and I cannot afford that right now because I am a college student and I don't feel like spending money on that kind of stuff. But maybe you guys can Skype, or maybe you can try like different approaches. Maybe if you can meet in person before you move in, that's awesome, like grab a coffee or something. But sometimes they're not really good with texting, and people like I want to say like look awkward when they text, like they don't look open or something. Don't take that as something that is true. Wait until you actually meet them, because each person is different. Like I have friends which I don't text at all because I know it's just bad. They're really bad with texting. Like I just, every time that I text them, I think that they're mad at me for some reason. And they're like, no, I was just normally texting. And I'm like, no, you weren't. That's just totally like weird. And it's like looks rude when you read it. So some friends, I just don't text. I either call them or I meet up with them. So just keep that in mind. Like don't take it like hard, let's say, if like you don't hit it off through text and all that stuff. Another thing is don't stalk their Facebook. I mean, like, yeah, of course everyone's gonna stalk it, but don't stalk it and take things that you see there as true, because people look like something on Facebook and they might, or any social networking thing, and they might be something completely different out of that. So don't take anything that you see on social network as a true fact. For like later on, something that you guys have to clear is who's gonna bring what. No one wants to be stuck with 2 fridges, because like mini fridges, not actual fridges, but like 2 mini fridges, because it's just gonna take up space and you don't really need that. And you also don't want to be stuck with 2 microwaves, or I don't know, maybe you do want to be stuck with 2 fans, because depending on where you are, it's pretty hot. But like don't buy stuff. Like why do you need 2 printers in one room? Like share a printer, you know. You're college students, you're trying to save money, and if you're not, you should be, because parents tend to stop sending you money because they think that you're outside of home, and they're like, yeah, you can do things on your own. So you should probably start thinking about that. Also, where things go. Like for example, I have a split double, which means there's kind of like a half wall in the middle. So we have to decide like in which side is the mini fridge gonna be and which side the TV is gonna be. So it's nice if you can share like who has a TV and who has a mini fridge, because you both need those things, but there's no way you can put it in the same space in my case. So it's really nice, because then like it's not unfair, because if one has a mini fridge and the TV, like that person loses so much space for other personal things. So I think it's really important to always like try to be fair and share the space that each one has. Also like try to be clear, like maybe not before you meet them in person, maybe after, like in the first day you move in or a little bit before. It's just like, are you okay with sharing food? Is the food that you're gonna buy just yours, or can she, like what needs to be asked? That comes in with sharing as well. So just be clear with what you're okay with sharing and what you want to keep to yourself. Best thing is keep, everyone has their own, like especially for cups and plates and that kind of thing, because then you're responsible for your own washing. And after like you have your own cups and plates and stuff, but also like let's say she wants to borrow an earring or something, it's nice like to always ask and like have that openness, like that you can actually talk to each other and you're not like scared to go and ask something. Also with cleaning, So maybe like if everyone keeps their side clean, but also like try to find out if your roommate is a clean person, and if they're not, if they're a really messy, chaotic person, and you're a really tidy person, just tell them like, okay, I like to be tidy, and could you be a bit more tidier? Or like everyone's gonna have to like bend a bit. Like you have to be really flexible and be like, okay, like even though you're like a really OCD person, if you're living with a totally chaotic person, she's gonna have to learn to be a little bit more organized, and you're gonna have to learn to live with something a little bit more messy. So I think that's really important, is both roommates have to always be flexible. You are living with another person and you have to adapt. Another thing is music also. You guys should talk about that. Like, when is it okay to have loud music? Sometimes you don't like the same type of music. So just make sure like to always tolerate the other, but also if it's really, really bothering you, you should go and tell them. Also sleeping habits, like if you have morning classes and the person is a really light sleeper, promise you'll be careful to not wake them up. Or if you're the type of person that stays up late studying, you're gonna be like careful to not wake them up. If you're a really light sleeper, ask them like, oh, could you please like always keep the lights more down after a certain time? If you sleep early, if you sleep late, if you guys like partying, if you don't, if you wake up late on weekends, if you don't, if you are allowed to have people over or not. So all that stuff, try to get it out of the way as soon as you can, because let's say you don't discuss about anything about having people over, and then when your roommate starts bringing people over, you feel uncomfortable, but you never discussed it. So you don't even know what to say to her, and then you have to start this whole new discussion. So just try to like agree on things upon the beginning, and agree also to be open. So if something is bothering you, you both have to be open to talking and solving the problem together, and always trying to come to a conclusion that's like best for both of you. So those are my tips on talking to your roommate and getting to know your roommate. I will have a new video coming up soon, and probably have some beauty videos as well. So leave any requests for beauty, or especially for the college series, down below, because I think we're almost like halfway through it. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Hey everyone! So today I'm